guys, it's Kinsey and welcome to the Revival Equine YouTube channel. So today's video is going to be all about my first week with Scarlett. If y'all don't know, if y'all haven't watched last week's video or haven't been keeping up with my Instagram, which you definitely should keep up with my Instagram and watch last week's video, I am leasing a new horse. Her name is Scarlett and I am very excited. Stay tuned to hear all about my first week with Scarlett at my house, my future plans for her, all about her, and frequently asked questions that I have commonly seen on my Instagram. All of that is going to be in today's video. So first I'm just going to talk all about Scarlett, her height, her breed, her age, all of her specs. So she is very, very large. She is a 17 hand horse, which is absolutely massive. She is a mix of 4 different breeds, and those 4 breeds are Oldenburg, Irish Sport Horse, Irish Draft, and Dutch Warm Blood. All very, very, typically big horses except for Oldenburg, and pretty stocky horses. And I believe she's 12 years old. If I'm wrong, I will come correct myself on that, but I'm pretty sure she's 12 years old. Anyways, okay, back to it. I'm gonna go into a little bit of backstory about Scarlett. I have known her owner, Hannah, since I first got Levi, since I think 5 years ago. I believe I was 14. And I've always looked up to Scarlett and looked up to her and Hannah like as a team. I just thought they were really cool, and just watching them go was really exciting. But I was so scared of her because of her height. She's freaking massive and she has the biggest head, so it was really intimidating to me, like as a little 14-year-old kid. And Hannah actually offered me when I was a lot younger to lease her, to like free lease her, but number one, we didn't have the money, and even if we did have the money, I was so scared of her. So I really just, I missed out on that opportunity. It's kind of like a really stupid, but everything happens for a reason, and here we are today. So the story of how leasing her even came into fruition is I was talking to the trainer that me and her owner Hannah both used to train with when we were younger and all eventing together, way back when I was eventing Levi. I was talking to her about her horse, and I was just saying like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I used to be so scared because he's so big. I was just so intimidated by him. And then we got to talking about Scarlett, and it kind of just popped into my head just for a split second. I was like, I wonder if anybody is leasing Scarlett, because I knew that her owner got another horse and was focusing most of her attention on her new horse, which nothing against that. It actually worked a lot to my advantage and to Hannah's advantage too, because this whole situation just worked out perfectly. So on my way out of that driveway, out of that barn, after that conversation, I just had a good feeling, like one of those like tingly feelings, and I just texted Hannah and I was like, hey, if you don't have anybody leasing Scarlett, then I would love to see if we could work something out. And this was a couple months after Tiny passed away, and we kind of established that I was not going to buy another horse because of COVID, and we just didn't want to pay for it, but leasing was still sort of an option. And Hannah responded and she said that nobody was leasing Scarlett, so that was something that I did not want to do. I did not want to step on any toes and like take the horse away from anybody else. So she said that nobody was leasing her and that she would love if I could lease her and if we could work something out. So my first ride on Scarlett, I have it all in my calendar, which is color-coded. Kind of embarrassing, but whatever, I like to stay organized. My first ride on Scarlett was Sunday, May 3rd, 2020. So I have been trying to get this all to work since Sunday, May 3rd. In that first ride, she was a little bit spicy. I didn't exactly get any videos, but she had been basically not worked at all since February. So it was February to May that she hadn't really been worked. So she was a little bit like, but I got the tingle, the tingle that's like, you need this horse in your life. So I was like, can I come out tomorrow and ride her again? So I came out the next day, and I think I came out like 2 days after that or something. Let me refer to my calendar. I jumped her on May 8th. That's when I knew that I had to have this horse, and I was gonna do whatever it took. When I want something, I am so stubborn that I'm gonna freaking get it. Hannah texted me and she was like, this is what we would do to have a lease, and I tried so hard to convince my parents, and I never asked them to help me pay for it. I just asked them if I could pay for it and if we could bring Scarlett to my house, because it was a lot to drive the hour to the barn that she was boarded at and back. And I also felt like I was kind of mooching off of Hannah, and I don't really think that would have been fair to her. And having 2 horses is a lot to ask of somebody financially, especially if they're just like loaning the horse out to somebody else. So I mean, I definitely wanted to be fair to Hannah and her generosity. I did not want to take advantage of that situation. So I wanted to be able to lease her, not only for like my personal gain, which obviously like leasing a horse like that would, you know, give me a lot of gain personally and like with my riding career, but I also just thought it would be fair to Hannah because she'd been so nice about the whole. My camera cut off. I finished that whole video and my camera cut off, so I had to look back and see where I was. But we're just gonna start back like nothing happened, okay? Ready, set, go. So I wanted to be as fair to Hannah as possible. I wanted to figure out a way that we could lease her. And just last weekend, so the weekend before June 29th when she got here, we figured something out and she made lease papers for her in like an hour. I was very impressed. Let's just say I was very impressed. And she called me on Sunday night, and she's my friend, so we were just talking about it like normal. But we needed papers just for both of our protection, you know, so she made papers and then, yeah. So on Monday, I had planned on working that whole week because I knew I needed money, because I knew that I was finally going to be able to lease her. So I was at work and she texted me and she was like, hey, I could come bring Scarlett over. And I asked my boss, I was like, can I leave? And if y'all don't know, I work at a tack shop, so my boss like understands horses very much. And she was like, girl, yes, like send pictures. It was awesome.
Currently awaiting the arrival of Miss Scarlet. I'm so excited. I'm just so excited.
Really stalking her from my tack room. Hannah, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, I'm a stalker. Oh my God, there she is. I'm so excited. Coming down the driveway. I'm so excited. So right when Scarlett got to the house, we signed her lease papers and all of that goodness. We were being very responsible. My stepdad would be so proud of me because I'm not very responsible when it comes to that type of stuff. And when Hannah brought Scarlett over, she also brought her other horse that I mentioned earlier, Artex, over, and we set up a few jumps, and she just had a really good like little school on him. He's pretty young and he's still learning, so she's trying to still teach him that like going off property to school is not, you know, a deadly thing. So that day I just wanted Scarlett to realize that this was her new home and that it wasn't just one of those like off property schooling things, and I just wanted her to settle in and be comfortable. And I did not ride her, I didn't lunge her or anything. I just stuck her in a pasture with some hay, and then once Hannah left with Artex, I took Scarlett out and I gave her a bath. It's easy for a horse to get very sweaty and gross in the Texas heat, trust me, I know. I tried to pull her mane, but she was being a little bit too spicy. So I turned her out and then she let me pull her mane, or at least start to thin her mane because her mane was like so freaking thick. She let me start to thin her mane while she was eating her nighttime hay. So then day 2 was Tuesday, June 30th, and I woke up so excited. I'm pretty sure I went into her pasture like 7 times before 7 a.m. I just like, I had to go to the gym before work. I was so excited. I had so much energy. I barely slept because I was so excited because I just had to let off some steam. And so I went to the gym and then I went to work. And when I went to work, I found so many things that I just needed in my life. I think I came home with like a fly mask, a saddle pad. I know for sure those 2 things, but the fly mask didn't fit her head because she's so massive that it didn't fit her head. Oh, I came home with a bit, also a show jacket. So I came home with so many things for work because today was finally going to be the day that I got to ride Scarlett at my house, which I had been waiting on for like 2 months. I actually ended up going to the store and getting a shirt that would match the saddle pad because I didn't have any clean shirts, so I made my poor boyfriend take me to the store and we got a shirt from Walmart. And you know what? It's actually a pretty nice shirt. I actually really like it. Has a lot of ventilation. I might ride in it a little bit more often, okay? Or go get some more. And so when I went to go to tack her up, she was having a little bit of a temper tantrum in the cross ties. Like, It was kind of annoying. My dog was in heat, and I didn't really put two and two together until like a little bit later on that my dog was in heat and she was in a stall, and I put Scarlett in the cross ties, and she's a mare, and she could kind of like smell, you know the smell, the in heat smell. It's not a good smell, and I'm pretty sure it like triggered something in her, and she was like, ah, but that's okay. There was a lot of stuff going on, like my dog was in heat. My sister was trying to learn how to haul a horse trailer, so it was just very loud at my house, and it was very stressful. So I took her out to the arena, lunged her, got a little bit of her energy out, and then she calmed down in the cross ties. And then I tacked her up, I rode her, and she was just perfect. I ended up having a great dressage ride. My boss at work actually was nice enough to let me borrow her dressage saddle because I currently don't have one. I don't own one. I sold mine because I had it from when I was like 14 and it doesn't fit me anymore, like in the slightest. So day 3 was Wednesday, July 1st, and that morning Levi decided to cut like his lip, like right here. I'll put a picture on the screen, so if you don't want to see blood, just like skip forward probably 10 seconds, okay? You have 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, he did that, jerk. And I texted my vet and I texted my boss, and I was like, I might be a little bit late to work today. And my vet was like, yeah, he needs stitches. I couldn't get the vet to come out to the house, so I ended up taking him to the vet before work, and I got to work like an hour late. My poor boss, she is a godsend. So I took him to the vet, and then he got 3 stitches. So I got home from work probably around 6 o'clock, and I was like, I'm gonna ride my horse. I rode her. I just had a little dressage ride on her, and she was so much better in the cross ties, like a completely different horse in the cross ties that day. But I was alone, so I didn't get any videos. But you're just gonna have to take my word for it. She was awesome. And then I pulled her mane and I did her little tail. I banged it and then I trimmed it like a little eventer tail, and it's just so cute. And then the next day was day 4 that I had her. It was Thursday, July 2nd, and I worked all day. Like every day this week, I just worked all day. And then I came home and we had our first lesson together. We had our first, well, I take that back actually. We had our first lesson of me officially leasing her. Finally found a trainer that would be able to come out to my house and give me lessons, because with Scarlett's kind of a little bit of a pain to get lessons because she does not fit in the horse trailer. She doesn't fit in the bumper pool. She fits in the 4-horse, but if I want to take the 4-horse, then I have to borrow my mom's truck because I don't have like a 5th wheel. So that's really fun. But it went awesome. It was a great lesson. I was very happy with it. The trainer, like, it was my first lesson with her, and she was just great. She was so nice. She didn't yell. She actually had like a little microphone and a speaker headset thing, so that she wouldn't have to yell at me, which was so nice. She was so calm, and it just like, I really felt very comfortable in that lesson, and I feel like I learned so much. And it's just lessons like that that get you so excited to learn even more, and to like make those trainers that are so nice to you, like to just make them proud of you. And after that lesson, I actually got on Sneak, and I was like, I want to do it again. Practice everything that I learned on Sneak, and Sneak was actually great. And I haven't ridden him in a dressage bridle or like in a dressage like fashion in a very long time. And we mainly just worked on like getting her uphill, getting her using her hind end and stop like swaying her head, and I learned so much in that hour. Then I just hosed her off and turned her out, and that was the last part of day 4. So then day 5 was my last day of work for the week. I got home around probably 5 o'clock. And my friend came over, my friend that I used to ride with came over, and she really wanted to ride, and she'd sold her horse, and I was like, yeah girl, like I have plenty of horses for you to ride. So I let her ride Sneak, and she loved him. It was actually really cute. Sneak was such a good boy for her. She's like my age. She's not like a, you know, it was just nice to see him be good for somebody else, because he can be kind of picky with who he rides. It's kind of funny because when we were coming out to the barn to like get on, my stepdad was going ham with the jet ski like in our little pond, and Scarlett was like, but she settled in after like a minute. We ended up having an actually really good ride. I didn't get any videos again. Like I just focused on my ride, and I practiced a lot of the stuff that I learned the day before in the lesson. So then day 6 was the 4th of July. Thank God nobody did fireworks at my house. I had a lesson again. I was so excited about the first lesson that I went ahead and scheduled another one. She was kind of naughty, but I was actually really glad that she was naughty in the lesson because I'd rather have her do that than do that when I'm alone. My horses are at my house, so I don't have a trainer that I could just be like, hey, can I get some quick tips? Like, it's just me. So I have to figure it out. I was really glad that she kind of like flung her head up in the air and tried to get away from me while I was in a lesson because it made me learn so much. And she was a completely different horse towards the end of the lesson. And I feel like me and Scarlett are getting a lot closer and a lot more cohesive as a pair. And I feel like once we get our dressage down, then our jumping is just going to be great. I haven't ridden her in a jumping saddle all this week. It's just been dressage because up until like probably like prelim, it's basically just a dressage competition and eventing. So we need to get that down. Like, that is not an option. That was my first priority, is to get some dressage lessons. And this trainer, I feel like she's just going to be great for us. So then day 7th is today, actually. It is July 5th, so the day after 4th of July. It is Scarlett's day off. She's been so good this week, and I've been so proud of her this week for handling like a moving to a new environment, and so much stuff was going on at the house this week, and I'm just very proud of her. She gets a day off, and she's been ridden for like 6 days she's been ridden for 5 days in a row. But before that, she hadn't really been ridden consistently since February. So it's kind of a lot for her. So me and the trainer that's been coming out to my house, my dressage trainer, I have a jumping trainer too, but that's just my dressage trainer. We agreed that she should just have a day off and get to relax. And I'm going to go out to groom her later and get her all beautiful and ready for a full week of work and riding. And yeah, that's all about Scarlett and my first week with her and how it went. I really hope y'all are just as excited as I am about this horse, and I can't wait to be able to share her with y'all and to share our journey with y'all. Speaking of our journey, actually, I started a blog so where I can just write write posts, and I try to make them as fun as possible. It is revivalequine.com. So if y'all want to go check that out, that would be great. Tell me what you think. Go ahead and like this video if you like Scarlett. I know that I love Scarlett. Go ahead and like it if you think she's a cool horse. If you like seeing her, leave a comment below telling me your favorite thing about her. And subscribe, turn on post notifications if you want to see more of us in the future. And don't forget to follow my Instagram. It is on the screen and it is always linked in the description. And I hope you'll have a great day, have a great ride, and thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Bye.
Yeah.